All right, Sheriff. The first question I had for you is there are any number of things that you are free to weigh in on, any number of law enforcement incidents, any number of political things that you can talk about, and we've heard you talk about a lot of them. In this case, you decided to weigh in. What was so important about what happened in Minnesota that you felt, even all the way here in Polk County, Florida, you should speak out about it?
Well, I think it's important to understand that when this evil, deranged person did what he did was he killed a piece of the Minnesota state government that day. Those folks are representing all of the people of the state of Minnesota. They don't make hardly any money at all to be in the House of Representatives or a state senator. They do it for the love of their state and the love of this country. And it's important for me to recognize that that is such an evil, contemptuous act. And there's other copycats across this nation, I fear, that are just as evil and just as deranged, that there may be a subsequent event. So I pray that all of our legislators, whether it be a city council person someplace in a small community in this country, to our congressional folks, are on their toes and very vigilant for the next little while. They need to remain safe. There's never an example, there's never a reason at all to shoot or injure anyone. But when you shoot and kill and break into their homes with a ruse in order to murder, and you're doing that to government officials, what you're doing is you're striking out at our government. You're attacking our government. You're not just attacking individuals in an office, you are attacking our government, and that is absolutely unacceptable all the time.
Politics has gotten so it's gotten so personal for people. It's not just that it's contemptuous between the parties as they do battle in state government or in federal government, but people feel so personally connected to it. How do you make the case to them that whether it's your side or the other side being attacked or doing the attacking, that it's just not okay and that you have to separate your emotions from the partisanship that you might feel towards the government, the strength of the government, and the continuity of government itself?
Well, one thing I've never understood is we go to school together, our children go to school together, we go to church together, we work together, and then all of a sudden they're elected to public office on the Republican ticket or the Democrat ticket, and they go to Washington or to the state capitol, and all of a sudden they've got to be bitter enemies. Because you have a difference of opinion of how the government should run doesn't mean you're not a great American. But whenever we get to the point where you can't express an opposing opinion, when it gets to the point, if you don't agree with me, you're an enemy, we're way over the line, way, way over the line. We're first and foremost Americans. The United States of America is the greatest country in the world because we're the greatest people in the world. And any attack on any of us, meaning not only government officials, but any of us in the United States of America, because you disagree with our political position, is totally, totally inappropriate. And everybody's got to take a deep breath and calm down. If you don't like the outcome of who's in office now, you have the opportunity in 2 or 4 years to vote a different way. But in the meantime, those folks are in office because the majority of the people put them there. And they're going to make the best decisions, or there's a court to check them. And then you have the chance to check them the next time at the ballot box. But us hating each other because you don't like somebody's political position is just wrong on every front.
When it comes to you and your office there, you obviously have great relationships with people across Polk County on many different persuasions, different sides of the aisle. What are you telling your elected officials in Polk County about any potential safety measures that they can take? And have you gotten specific threats against officials, not just in Polk County, but in the state?
Well, first and foremost, I love everybody. Sometimes we have to arrest people because they violate the law, but it doesn't mean personally I don't like them. It just means I don't approve of what they did because they violated the laws of the state of Florida. The blessing is, so far, we don't know of any attacks or threats on local officials here. Now, we had one local official that was out at an event on Saturday who was talked pretty ugly to because they differed in their political opinion, but there was no threat at all. It was just someone advancing how much they disliked this public official. But hey, that goes with the territory. But the reality is simply this: we have a zero tolerance for anyone who wants to injure or threaten to kill anyone. And then you stack another layer of zero tolerance on top of that if they're a government official, because government officials are your representatives and they agree at virtually little to no compensation, depending on their office, to represent you. And we're not going to let people tear down this country and this form of government because they disagree.
What are your wishes for the families in Minnesota, both the lawmakers who were killed and for the lawmakers who are still recovering?
Well, my prayers have already been with them and will continue to be with them. We have a family tragedy of monumental proportions for our Speaker of the House in Minnesota, her husband, and their families. But then that expands to the rest of Minnesota and the rest of this country. And the same of our state senator there as well. My prayers are not only with their family, but it's with their state. It's with the United States of America and the way we do business. That my prayers are for them and a speedy recovery if you're injured. But you know, the hurt and the pain for the family members of those that have been shot and those that have been murdered will never go away. We pray that it will dull over time with the strength and being surrounded by good friends and family. I believe our faith is the only thing that can carry us on in these horrible times of tragedy.